Please find a comfortable seat on your mat, and we'll begin with a short meditation on the breath. So wherever you are, feeling the weight of your body supported by the ground below. And elongating the spine all the way from the tailbone through the crown, lifting up, tucking the chin slightly, rolling the shoulders up and back, and finding a comfortable spot for the hands, either in your lap or on your knees, facing up or down. And begin to take notice of your breath in this moment. Noticing that it contains all the information of the day that you've carried here with you. And it also contains all the information of the day yet to come. And taking solace in this moment of being with the breath, of simply being an observer, watching the breath breathe you. And with each cycle of breath arriving more fully into your body, onto your mat. Today, I invite you to invite in the current of whatever it might be that you need today in your practice. There are currents flowing throughout our bodies, currents flowing all around us. And as we move and grow and breathe, we have the ability to open up this opportunity of free flow, of energy, of a free flowing current. So perhaps tuning into whatever it is that this practice may bring you, whether it be a current of joy that opens up, a current of healing, and setting an intention for each breath to be in prayer towards that intention. Bringing your hands together at the heart, fingertips lightly touching, lifting the heart up to reach the thumbs. We'll open up our class and seal in this intention with the vibration of Om. Inhaling together and exhaling to one Om. So taking a few moments to connect to your Ujjayi breath by slightly constricting the back of your throat and making just a slightly audible inhale and exhale through the nose by constricting the back of the throat. And at any time in your practice today, coming back to this Ujjayi breath to help still the mind, giving it one point of focus. Sometimes our mind can wander far from the breath, and this is a simple opportunity to be able to come back directly in the moment. So resourcing ourselves with this breath here and now. And allowing that sound to be at the forefront as we begin some of our warm-ups here today. So first, let's start with some neck rolls. By dropping the chin, and then rolling one ear over to the side, rolling the head back, and rolling the opposite ear over to the opposite shoulder. Noticing how this affects the sound of the Ujjayi breath. And moving in the opposite direction. And rolling your shoulders up towards your ears. And then letting them drop, and rolling them up once again, squeezing them up, and dropping them down to the ground, making circular motions with the shoulders. Up and then back, opening up through the chest and creating space in the body for the breath. Moving in the opposite direction with the shoulders. Taking your arms wide, opening all the way across the chest, fingertips wide. Inhale. And then exhale, giving yourself a hug. Wrapping the arms across the chest. Inhaling, expanding the arms. And exhaling, opposite arm crosses, hugging the shoulders in. Yes, opening up one more time. And then folding forward, walking your fingertips forward. Coming into a bit of a forward fold here. Allowing the head to fall down towards the earth. And walking the body back up. And crossing the legs, opposite leg in front, and walking the hands forward once again. So really opening up through the back body here, feeling the breath expanding in the middle of the shoulder blades, perhaps feeling slight compression in the hip flexors. And then walking back up. Taking hold of your right foot with your hand and taking hold of the knee as well. And just rocking the shin back and forth, opening up into the hip socket, perhaps making circles. Another option is to place the sole of your foot inside the crook of your elbow and then hold your hands and draw the shin in towards the body, rocking back and forth. So again, noticing where your breath is, noticing if you can catch that Ujjayi breath. Draw it back into each movement. All right, and releasing the leg down to the ground. Opposite leg. So drawing the left in, either hand or taking hold of your fingertips and drawing the whole shin in towards the body. And just rocking back and forth, opening up that hip flexor, all the channels of energy that is concentrated on our hip here. Nice, making circles, allowing that breath to guide you and explore. All right, and release. Raising the hands up, and then twisting over towards the right side. Lengthening the spine tall and looking over the right shoulder. Twisting here. Inhaling, sweeping the right hand up and reaching the fingertips over towards the left side, opening up through the side body. And exhale to release. Inhale, fingertips reach up and twist over towards the left side. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist deeper, looking over the left shoulder. On your next inhale, sweeping the left fingertips up towards the sky and reaching them over towards the right side, noticing the space created in the intercostal muscles in between your ribs. One more breath here. And then exhale to release. Coming over your knees and into a tabletop position. And begin with a few rounds of cat and cow, inhaling to drop the belly towards the earth. And exhaling, drawing the navel towards the spine. Allowing that breath to become audible. Concentrating our awareness on the breath and allowing it to direct the body's movements. Allowing the breath to control the current. Stretching your right leg back and opening up towards the right side, coming into Gait Pose. With your left shin on the ground, right fingertips reaching up. Nice. And bringing the hand back down and bringing the right knee down as well, reaching the left leg back and opening up towards the left side. Feeling the stretch all the way into the hip flexors, across the chest, waking up those lymph nodes and creating space for flow. And exhaling the left hand down. Bringing the knees together and just shifting back into a child's pose for a moment with the hands reaching away from you. And taking a moment now to set a personal intention, perhaps for your class. An opportunity to unfold this idea of the current flowing through your life. And with the Ujjayi Breath, feeling yourself back up. And then coming to stand at the front of your mat and forward fold. Reaching for opposite elbows and just taking a moment to sway side to side. Feeling the earth below supporting you, perhaps rocking back and forth. And then releasing the hands, rolling the body all the way back up to standing. Allowing the head, the neck, and the shoulders to be the very last things that unfold. And coming to stand in Tadasana. Legs engaged, toes spread wide, palms open towards the front. Bringing the palms to the center of the chest and then inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling to forward fold. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhaling, bending at the knees, reaching for the elbows, and then sweeping the arms all the way back up on the inhale. Palms to the center of the chest. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to bend. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Palms into the center of the chest. Nice. This time, let's inhale up. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands. Step back into down dog. And walking out the dog here by bending one knee at a time, keeping the spine elongated, hips reaching for the sky. And then stepping the right foot forward, coming into a high lunge as you inhale, sweep the arms up. Squaring the hips to the front, opening up that hip flexor, opening up the front of the chest. Allowing the hands to come behind the back now, interlacing the hands behind you. As you inhale, open through the chest. And as you exhale, forward fold, coming to humble warrior. So folding onto the inner side of your right leg. Gaze is at the ground. Hips are still square, legs engaged. Opening through the front of the chest by reaching the hands up behind you. Nice. On your next inhale, sweeping the arms down, raising the hands all the way back up. Nice. And then exhaling, planting the palms and stepping back into down dog. Walking out the dog, noticing any difference between your hips. And then stepping the left forward. Coming into a high lunge once again, powering up that back leg as you sweep up. Finding your stance here, rooting into the ground below you. One breath to open up through the chest. And then exhale, sweep the arms behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, open through the chest. And exhale, fold forward, coming to the inner edge of your left leg. So finding stability here by powering up your back leg, rooting those toes into the ground and finding stability on your front foot as well.
Imagine drawing the inner thighs together to create more of a centering effect here. And opening up through the chest by drawing the hands further away from the body. And to release, interlacing the hands and sweeping them back up as you inhale. And then exhale, palms on either side of your foot, stepping back into down dog. Walking out the dog and then walking all the way to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. And palms to the center of the chest. Inhale, arms come above you. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back in down dog. Nice. This time, reaching the left leg up. And opening up towards the side. Perhaps making circular motions with your knee to really open up that side. Nice. And placing the foot back down on the ground. Lifting the opposite leg up, bending the knee. Allowing the heel to drop towards the earth as you make circular motions here. Preparing the body, opening up the hips here, opening up this channel. And placing that foot back down on the earth. Nice. Stepping the right foot forward once again. This time in warrior one stance. So back foot is at a 45-degree angle as you come up. Squaring the hips to the front. Opening up the chest once again. Nice. Tucking that tailbone down and the lower ribs down by engaging the core. And really pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. Nice. On your next inhale, sweep the arms behind you and then press forward into the front foot, coming into warrior three. Arms can be at your side or reach out in front of you, or palms at the center of your chest. Nice. And keeping your 1 point of balance, drawing the left leg forward and taking hold of the left big toe with your left fingers and extending the foot forward, coming into extended hand to toe. Option to open up towards the side. Keeping that balance point, sending your energy down into the earth and sourcing where you need, where you could use perhaps a little more balance, a little more strength, a little more flexibility. And then bringing that foot back to center, hugging the knee in and placing the foot down. All right, let's inhale, bring the palms up. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, stepping back into down dog. This time stepping forward with the left in warrior one. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle, hips facing forward. So finding the solid foundation here, engaging the core, intending the pinkies towards one another to open up the chest. Firing up that front foot, pressing into it, exhaling, sweeping the arms back and behind you, and stepping forward into warrior three. So keeping the hips square towards the earth, and keeping the back toe engaged, either by flexing the foot, flexing the toes, pointing the toes, and on your next inhale, sweeping that right foot forward, reaching for the right big toe with your right first and second finger, and extending the leg forward, an extended hand to toe. Plugging that right shoulder back into the socket, and opening up towards the side if that's an option for you. Rooting into the earth, squaring those hips towards the front, wherever you may be. Seeing if you can find a sense of balance. Drawing the foot back towards center, and then hugging the knee in before placing it down on the earth. Bringing the toes together and heels slightly apart. Let's inhale and sit back into a chair. So fingertips reaching away from you, lower ribs tucked in, navel draws towards the spine. So finding this expression of chair here, this balance of strength, sitting as deeply as possible for you today, and finding that sweet spot, the balance of effort and ease. Keeping the spine elongated, shifting the weight over onto the left foot, and lifting the right up and over, coming into eagle. So just crossing the right leg on top of the left, and wrapping the toes behind the left calf if that's available to you. Arms can stay where they are if you'd like to take eagle arms, wrapping one elbow underneath the other. And squaring the hips to the front by drawing the right back and the left slightly forward. And you can draw the elbows further away from the body to breathe more deeply into the thoracic spine. And then untwisting the arms, untwisting the legs, coming back to chair. As you inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. And just hang here for one moment. Perhaps reconnecting with your toes by taking hold of the big toes. Or taking any variation of the arms that feels good in this moment. And inhale to sweep the body back up to standing. And palms at the center of the chest. Sit back into a chair once again by sweeping the fingertips across the ground and sitting back. Creating lots of space in your neck and shoulders. Perhaps even opening up your arms so that they're in more of a V shape, if that feels nice for your shoulders. Making sure there's no sway in the back by elongating that spine down towards the earth. And then we're going to shift into eagle on the other side, so rooting into the right foot, lifting the left leg up and over, twisting the leg. Nice, finding that sweet spot for it. Keeping the arms here if you like, or taking the opposite variation of the arms by wrapping one underneath the other. Palms coming together. And squaring the hips to the front. So finding that point of balance once again. Focused eagle, watching over all. One more breath. And then untwist the arms, untwist the legs, toes come back together, inhale, sweeping up, exhale, forward fold, and taking one more variation here with the arms, perhaps placing the whole palm underneath the soles of your feet, perhaps bringing the hands behind the shins. Really feeling your belly weight on the thighs. Taking a moment of restoration. And then as you inhale, drawing in all the pranic energy that you need for the remainder of the practice, for this moment here. And then bringing the hands to the center of the chest. Closing the eyes. And just noticing the power of the breath. Perhaps introducing that Ujjayi Breath if you've lost it. And then stepping open to the long edge of your mat. Feet are wide, about 3 or 4 feet apart. So that when you bend your knees, the knees come directly over top the ankles. So coming here into a goddess squat. Sinking the hips low towards the earth. Palms can be at the center of the chest, or option to bring them into cactus arms here, opening up through the front body. And just noticing where breath is freely flowing, where there may be resistance, where you can offer a new channel to open. As you exhale, fold forward, turn your toes in, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And then we're going to prepare for Bird of Paradise. So walking the body over towards the left leg. And wrapping the hand behind. Stepping the foot towards the left. And then coming into a bind by opening up the right arm and reaching for the left underneath. So we're coming to stand on our right, and slowly the left is coming towards the right. We're engaging the core and then making the motion to come up to standing by rooting into the earth here, and then keeping the hands bound behind the left. And coming to stand, lifting our body up. So finding a point of focus once again. And coming to stand on the right leg. Left leg, if it's available to you, can extend out towards the side. And working to square the chest to the center. Holding here for one more breath, wherever you are, and then bringing the leg back down, coming into a forward fold once again. Left toes touch the earth, hands are still down, walking the right foot out. And then releasing the arms, coming into a forward fold, swaying side to side, bending the knees in either direction. Walking over towards the right leg, reaching the right arm underneath the right hamstring and up towards the back. Walking the left foot underneath the body, opening up the left arm, and then reaching for the right fingertips. So creating a bind here if you can, and working to close that gap, walking the toes towards the left foot now. And then once again, finding that point of focus and seeing if you can lift up the right leg as you ground into the left, noticing that one side may be different. And allowing that to be the case. If so, stretching out the leg if that's accessible for you. One more breath wherever you are. And bringing the right toes back down to the ground, forward fold. Walking the right foot back out, walking the left back out. Releasing the hands and coming into this forward fold, wide-legged bend once again. Swaying side to side. And just allowing the body to fall heavy towards the earth. Maybe rocking forward and back in your balance. And coming up to a halfway lift, turning the toes out to 45-degree angle once again, and lowering all the way down into a squat. Pressing the inner edges of the knees out with your elbows, and creating space through the chest. Taking solace once again in this very grounded position here, close to the earth, after flying in our birds of paradise. And then pressing the hands into the earth, lifting the hips up, walking the toes back together. Nice. And coming to the front of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back into a down dog. Pressing into the earth here, really feeling the earth press away from us in this posture. Drawing the navel towards the spine and becoming this mountain, the shape solid and sturdy, and allowing the currents to run through us, run over us, carve away. Please inhale your right leg up, and then draw the right knee towards the right elbow, coming into pigeon, placing the right knee on the earth, and the shin follows. The left leg is outstretched behind you, including the toes, so perhaps looking back to see that that's the case. And the right foot can come in close towards the body, or it can be parallel to the short side of your mat. So if it's parallel to the short side of your mat, just flexing the toes to protect the knee. And as you inhale here, lengthen through the spine, feeling the openness in your hip flexor, and then exhale to fold forward. So perhaps coming onto your elbows, perhaps resting onto the ground if that's accessible for you, or perhaps just a slight bend forward, noticing the shift in energetics. Option to use any props that may be available to you as well. And connecting once again to the Ujjayi Breath. And noticing in this posture if it's perhaps slightly more restrained. Is it slightly more free? And just taking note, collecting this information for our practice. Walking your hands back up and releasing this posture by tucking the back toes and coming back into a down dog. Guys, bringing the right foot back and pressing the hips up towards the sky. Lifting the left leg up and then drawing the knee in towards the left elbow, and then placing the shin on the ground. Right foot, right leg is extended long behind you. Inhale to open through the chest. Exhale to forward fold, allowing the body to come heavy towards the earth. Perhaps making any micro movements side to side that will help you settle into this posture. And inviting in the breath to smooth out any tough areas. One more breath here, and exhaling to fully release anything you do not need for the road ahead. To free up the breath to be used in better ways. Inhaling, drawing the body up, tucking the back toes and pressing back into a down dog. And then melting your knees forward into a wide-legged child's pose. Bringing the feet together, allowing the belly to hang towards the earth. Fingers outstretched away from you. And reconnecting with your intention here. In this deep prayer to the earth. And to the currents that move you, to the currents you are opening up into. Perhaps walking the fingertips over towards the right side. Inviting in breath once again to those stickier parts of our experience. And walking the fingers back towards center and over towards the left. And walking fingertips back to the center once again. Bending the elbows so that the hands come in prayer behind the head. Noticing the slight stretch through the backs of the arms into the armpits. Yes. Offering prostration. And releasing your hands, walking the body up. And then shifting over onto your left hip. Your right leg comes up and over, right sole of the foot on the outside edge of your left thigh. So coming into a half fish twist. You'll squeeze in that right leg, drawing it in towards your body. You can take hold of your hands, or if you like, placing the right hand behind you and keeping the left wrapped around your right leg. Inhale to lengthen, tall. Exhale to look over the right shoulder. Option as well to take the right fingertips and reach for the inner edge of your left hip crease. And another option to bring the left arm underneath the right and come into a full bind here by interlacing the fingers together, opening up the chest towards the right side. And taking care to release from wherever you are. Lengthening legs, shaking them out a little bit, and then bending the right leg underneath the left. Left sole of the foot comes on the ground on the outside edge of the right thigh. Hug in the right leg, lengthen long, and twist over towards the left elbow, left shoulder. Option to remain here or reach with your left fingertips for the right hip crease. And again, option to take the bind by bringing your right arm underneath the leg and reaching for the fingertips. Coming into this deep twist wherever we are, squeezing out our organs, wringing out ourselves, creating space for fresh breath, fresh energy to enter. And untwisting with care wherever you are. And shaking the legs out in front once again, bringing the hips closer towards the heels. And hugging both knees in. Coming up onto our toes. And finding that point of balance on our sits bones before lifting the shins up off the ground so that they're parallel to the earth. Hands can come behind the legs. Or option to reach the hands out in front of you. Option to extend the legs. Coming into boat. So we're finding our strength here in this posture. Noticing if we're shaking, perhaps coming a little bit out of the posture. Finding breath once again. Perhaps that audible breath. And then releasing by hugging the knees in. And then rocking the body, rolling the spine all the way down. Rolling out the length of the spine a few times to massage out the muscles on either side. And then coming to lie on your back. Heels are close in towards your body. Soles of the feet are pressing into the ground. Hands are by your sides. Just taking a moment here to feel the ground below you. Tuning into the current of energy that is running throughout the earth. This endless source that we can tap into at any moment. And connecting with this as we root into the soles of our feet and lift up the hips towards the sky. Interlacing the hands behind your back. And creating space for the breath through the chest. And sensing perhaps this current connecting all the way through the earth, through our feet, through our body. Renewing from the source. And exhaling to release the shoulders and the hips back down to the earth, hugging the knees in once again, and rocking side to side. Through the inside edge of your knees, reaching for the outside edge of your feet, coming into happy baby. Soles of the feet are towards the sky, thighs are parallel towards the earth. And allowing the legs to be heavy here, opening up the hips. Opening up one leg perhaps to the side, and straightening out the other leg. And just lengthening the spine on the ground as well. Before releasing, hugging the right knee in and keeping the left leg long. Making small circular motions into the hip here. Inhaling and draw the forehead towards the knee. And as you exhale, release the head back down towards the earth, keeping the knee hugged in. This deep compression to our lower abdomen, helping to bring a sense of renewal to all of our organs. And releasing the right leg, drawing the left in, taking an opposite grip with the hands. Inhaling, drawing the forehead towards the knee. And exhaling, upper body comes long on the earth. And keeping that leg engaged too. The long leg, the outstretched leg. As your bent knee comes in towards the body and gives a good squeeze to all those organs working in harmony. And release. Shaking out the legs. Prepare for Plow Pose by bringing the soles of the feet up towards the sky. And then engaging your core, you can support your hips as you come up and over. Toes will come over top your head towards the earth or onto a bolster behind your head if you have one nearby. So inhaling, lifting the hips up and drawing the toes up and over the head. And continuing to support your hips with your hands, perhaps walking your hands up or down your back. Noticing the compression of the throat into the chest. Listening for the Ujjayi ocean sounding breath. And focusing your mind on this one point of awareness, the breath moving through the body. Option to remain here or come into shoulder stand. Reaching the toes for the ceiling. Or perhaps if you like, taking a different variation of the legs, reaching one leg long over your head and the other back and bent. And taking time to balance out either side if you were playing with the leg variations. And then coming out of this posture by tucking the knees, drawing the navel in towards the spine, and then bringing the hips safely back down to the earth with your hands supporting. Legs come long. Palms of the hands rotate so that they're facing the earth underneath your hips. As you inhale, draw the center of the chest up and allow the crown of the head to rest on the mat, keeping the feet flexed or pointed, engaging the legs, coming into a counter stretch of fish. Opening up the throat here with our breath, and then coming out of the posture by tucking the chin And releasing the head back down towards the ground. Taking your hands out from underneath your hips, one at a time. Nice. And taking any last micro movements that your body may need before releasing and relaxing into a final resting posture. So splaying your feet wide and your hands open towards the sky. Feeling your body supported on the ground below. Allowing any remaining tension to melt away from your muscles in the face, the forehead, the jaw. Seeing if your eyeballs can rest deeper in their sockets. And noticing the whole body melting into the earth, reconnected to timeless current. Nowhere to go or be at this place and time right now, right here on your mat. beginning to take note of the ways in which the breath is moving you. Noticing the free flow of energy that you are now connected to. And taking in a deeper breath back into the source of energy, drawing it into your body. And allowing the fullness of it to wake up your fingers and your toes. Perhaps making circles with your hands, your wrists, your ankles, your feet. And as if you're waking up in the morning and reaching your hands above your head, and the feet away from you. Inhaling deeply here before rolling over onto one side and resting your head on your arm. And remaining connected to this current through the breath. And noticing the spaciousness that it creates. Taking a moment to offer your gratitude to the supportive earth below you for holding space for your journey, for composting away anything that no longer serves, and revealing the currents that are available. Pressing into the palm of your hand here and lifting the body up to a seated position with your gaze soft, your eyes lowered or completely closed. And elongating the spine, stacking one vertebrae at a time. Leaving the body supported by the ground, as the crown of the head lifts up towards the sky. Preparing for Nadi Shodhana by folding in the first two fingers towards the palm of your hand or placing them on your third eye. And as we inhale, we'll plug the right nostril and inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Plug the left, exhale through the right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Releasing the hand back down to knee.
And breathing regularly through both nostrils. And taking these moments to integrate your practice here today. Perhaps becoming aware of any information that is now available to you through your higher self. And bringing the hands together and rubbing them. And with the heat created in the palms of your hands, placing that over top of your heart. And just sealing in this experience. And to close our practice together, bring the hands in Namaskar Mudra at the center of the chest. Lifting the chest up into the hands. And together we'll chant Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. To seal our practice. So let's inhale together and exhale to the Om. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Offering your gratitude to yourself for your practice, to your community, to your family, and to all the elemental factors